next game is at Rhule-Aid Stadium. It's the first road trip of the season. Nebraska goes to Purdue, where 2 years ago, Trey Palmer set a receiving record for Nebraska, I believe, for 217 yards, something to that effect. Purdue, as of May 13th, was ranked, has a returning offensive production of 63%, which is a national rank of 64th. Second-year coach in Brian Walters. I have a feeling the defense will be improved. I do, because he's an outstanding defensive coach. That's why Illinois' defenses were so good when Bielema first rolled into town. So this could be a slobber knocker. What are you thinking for this game? Moonbot says 31-28 right out of the gate, just so you know. For Nebraska.
I'm gonna detract from you this time, Moonbot. We've been pretty side by side. I think this is one of those games that Nebraska surprises themselves. We're going to go into this game kind of pessimistic, like, okay, maybe Purdue is already, they've already got 3-4 wins under their belt. They're looking pretty good. I guess I should look at their schedule to make that drastic of a statement. Whatever. I'm not going to worry about it. I'll just stick with what I said. Maybe they've got 2 wins. Maybe they got 3 wins, something like that. And we're going to go into this game and we're going to think, oh, great, West Lafayette. It's always kind of a headache playing there. The stupid train sounds just give me a headache every single time. But I think that this is kind of one of those games where even our guys kind of surprise themselves with how comfortably they win this game. I think it's going to be a comfortable Nebraska victory, 31-10. And it looks solid. We actually look pretty solid. And this is when the whole national media just lose their collective minds about Nebraska. And they're sitting there thinking, oh my gosh, they're 5-0. They beat Colorado. They've won 2 against 2 Big Ten opponents. They are just looking really good. They're going into a potential trap game against Rutgers. Look at Nebraska. Look at them, 5-0, and we're probably ranked.
Mm-hmm.
We're probably ranked.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's a good game. I think it's a fun game where it's just electric. We're almost blinded by our own. We're blinded by our unexpected confidence in Nebraska. We're just like, there's not a moment in the game where we're like, oh, we're going to screw this up. This is where I think that happens psychologically.
This is where you feel like, oh, the other shoe's not going to drop tonight.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I like that. Patrick Joseph says 27-21. Scott Schrader says 31-14. And then, of course, Negative Nancy Gregg says, I've got us losing to Purdue. I was between them or Illinois beating NU. It's the first away game and the first non-night game. So, well, except for UTEP, they're 2:30 in the afternoon, just so you remember, Greg. But Purdue's over under for wins, according to Patrick, is 4.5. So, and I believe Colorado's over under is 3, 2.5 or 3. So, not that matters, but just to stick it to the Buffs and their stupid Waterhead fans. Okay, first morning game. Greg has amended his comment. Thank you, Greg, for clearing that up. I've got us barely beating them 28-24. This is another one of those games where Nebraska is down late in the fourth quarter, and instead of, for lack of a better term, crapping the bed, Dylan Raiola actually is competent at quarterback and leads a game-winning drive in the last 7 minutes of the game, and the defense stands up and make sure that Purdue doesn't do anything more. So 28-24 is how I see this one going. And yeah, I like where we're headed. We're headed to 5-0. We're looking at bowl eligibility if we win one more doggone game. 31-10 for Purdue for you, and I've got 28-24, basically the same.